essentially what's happening is we're taking that needle, putting it right into that septum, and then as we pressurize up that kit, what happens is it starts forcing
Liquid.
water through there.
Yeah.
Why is my needle not? There we go. So then it's going right into the tree.
Look at that. Yeah, cool.
Right through the vascular system, up into the canopy of the tree.
Right.
So insecticides we can have up in the canopy within 24 hours. Certain ones can be up within this canopy within about 45 minutes.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then each injection puts, I've got this set to 3 milliliters.
Yeah.
So that's what we're putting into the tree.
Does that affect the fungus that's in the soil?
It does not, because this is all moving upward.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right, exactly. We're going into the xylem, which all moves upward, we're not going into the phloem. So, you know, the thing is fungi are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. And it really takes, you've seen the disease triangle, right? The right host, the right fungi, and the right weather conditions in order for that disease
We've got all of
Yeah,
those.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully you try to interrupt that triangle somewhere along the line. In this case, obviously, you don't have a whole lot of that you can do to prevent that. But if we can protect the tree, then we're in much better shape. So, but yeah, essentially what we do is we will mix the chemistry into these bottles at the prescribed rate because we measure the tree. And then we will inject it right up into the tree. We pressurize the system. It'll have 12 ports. We just inject it right up in the tree. So very cool.
Sounds cool.
You got the stuff.
What would it cost to
$12.
like do an injection of like that chestnut oak that's over there?
Depending on the situation, we recommend from a national level to charge $10 to $15 per inch of trunk diameter. Now, again, if you're in a situation like this where you've got multiple trees, obviously there's a chemistry discount and things like that. And we're talking about larger volume. So, but yeah, roughly speaking, we expect on a single tree basis, that small box, to be anywhere from $10 to $15 per inch of trunk diameter. So we're using a systemic fungicide that really has a broad range of capability to control many different diseases. This is used commonly in turf. It's sprayed on trees all over the world and whatnot, but this time we're going to be injecting it right into the vascular tissue.
What's used for anthracnose?
You can use this for anthracnose. We've also got a product called phosphojet, which is a phosphorus acid. And essentially what those types of products do, those phosphites, is they will elicit a response from a plant, no matter whether it's a grass plant or a tree or whatever, but to basically help fight off other things. It's a systemic response. It causes it to send out these things that will help control the disease.
How would you like to write an article?
How would I like to write an article?
Gardenopolis.
Sure, absolutely. I just wrote one of our blog posts yesterday. So I write blogs for a company.
Okay.
And
Or
whatnot.
send it to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you say our diameter is?
48.
48?
48.
Round up to 50?
Sure.
Call it 20.
Yep, 1,000 mils.
1,000 mLs, 500 a bottle.
You can go over that. These are actually
How are your legs,
660, but yeah,
Well,
500.
we're using 2 bottles.
Yeah, 500.
And we're going to go
Fine.
500 a
Yep,
bottle.
fine.
All right.
Why did you take the heads off?
How are your legs doing?
How am I going to get the product from the bottle?
I showed you
I've just finished, however, taking care of my granddaughters all night, and we just got rid of them a little bit before I showed up here this morning. What I was going to do, and I was explaining to Kevin that I've taken pictures of everything, including the trees, okay? And I'm going to try to set up a document, and I'll show where the affected trees are in relation to this. And I'll take pictures during the day here, and what I was going to do is make it available to them as well. I'll put it into a report form so that we can share it with others. Okay?
You want some real gloves?
Yeah, I got gloves. I'll use yours.
I like these ones.
So have you treated any of the? I know that there's oak wilt in East Cleveland, in the Brewster Street area. Have you treated any of those?
I have not.
I had, last year I spent an afternoon, a Sunday afternoon, literally going door to door.
Yeah.
And I've treated some trees in Cleveland Heights.
In what areas?
Not Brewster.
Yeah. No.
Not
yeah.
Brewster. My friend Mark has said he's treated a total of 8
In
the
Cleveland
area.
Heights?
I think it may have been Cleveland Heights, yes.
Do you know which area in Cleveland Heights?
No.
Because
I mean, I'll tell you where I have. The area where I've worked in Cleveland Heights most successfully has been off of Fairmount. Cleveland
yeah,
Heights,
that's what I'm thinking
Cleveland
of.
Heights, Shaker Heights border. In this area, though, South Euclid, I've treated some trees close to my home, but this specific area, no.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's an area.
The silence is deafening.
Yep.
Yummy, yummy.
In my tummy.
Yeah, I know there's an area that's it's a little bit north of Fairmount Boulevard and a little bit west of Lee Road, where there's been tree loss.
Where are you referencing?
North of Fairmount Boulevard.
North of Fairmount.
And west of Lee Road. So it's those big, more mansion-like houses with the really big old oak trees. Now, what is the, can this affect insects or birds or anything that lands in the tree?
Nope.
No.
It's all sealed in the tree.
Unless it's a boring insect, and then it
Correct.
would, yeah,
Correct.
which you probably don't want anyway.
Correct.
Haven't met too many good borers.
Right.
What about birds that, woodpecker type birds?
Yeah, it won't affect them at all.
Won't bother them at all?
Nope. No, this again is in the vascular tissue, and anything they're picking at is going to be on the outside of the cambium there. So yeah, won't have any adverse effect.
I think that's an important thing for people to know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Gurgle, gurgle.
Right?
Yeah, so you've been using this stuff for a while and you haven't grown an extra head, right?
I've been around chemistry for 30 years now. I have had adverse effects to some chemistries that are no longer out there. We used to use an antibiotic fungicide on turf called cyclohexamide. It's no longer available. They tried to bring it back. Careful. We tried to bring it back out, but I would get full body rashes from it.
Oh, wow.
It was ridiculous.
Hives.
Yeah, and just people
Yeah.
can be hypersensitive into that
Can you
chemistry.
pull that off, please?
Right.
That's what's. Now it wrapped around there. I can't get it now. That's good.
So I know, a lot of people will have a poor opinion of pesticides, but I mean, they're a necessary evil.
See, the state doesn't disseminate between pesticides, fungicides, insecticides. They say everything is a pesticide. Well,
As does the federal
because,
government.
for example, right. But when you're talking to a person, when you ask them about pests, they think of ants. They think of
Termites.
termites. But according to the state and the federal government, a weed is a pest, so which is why they call everything a pesticide. So it's a very blanket approach, which I really don't think is proper. I think it should be more detailed
More specific.
and defined. Okay.
How much more do you want to write the FIFRA Act?
I have no desire to write, but you get my point.
Yeah. No. Not add water into that one yet.
No.
Just got chemistry in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so used to being on the ground that I'm not used to standing up doing it.
Right.
I don't like it.
You need to pack yourself a little table in that car.
Actually, there is a table in that car.
Is there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hold on.
Yeah, and some of the trees that we're losing down at that end are actually white oaks.
Yeah, you could definitely have something different going on with those. They're generally not as susceptible
Yeah, that's
to
what
oak wilt.
And if they do get oak wilt, it takes
takes longer.
they're able to for some reason low leaf oaks are able to defend themselves
To some degree.
a little bit more against
You say low leaf?
Loam.
any.
Down leaf.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, lobe. Lobe.
Rather than pointy.
So, we were talking before of drilling and the importance of cleanliness of the drill bit. How many, based on this tree, how many holes will you end up, do you think?
This one will be
What do we say,
16.
on this guy?
16?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we
You know,
were
if you
doing-
have a small dogwood, 2, 3.
When we were doing the anthracnose, we drilled the holes, and we had pods that we used.
Mojay caps.
Yep. And put them.
So the caps
basically
go in holes, they don't go in the ground?
No, they go in holes.
Really?
in the holes. Yep.
I was at a client of mine's house who used to use Mojay, and they I just found them on the ground.
They're supposed to because I ended up drilling and I ended up doing exactly what you were talking about.
Right.
The drill bit in the trees.
So here's the curious thing to me with the trees that we treated for anthracnose are some of the same trees that we're losing to two-line chestnut borer over there.
Yeah, and the thing is what you have to remember is borers will always attack stressed trees. So those that can't really help fight off those type of
Okay,
situations,
yeah.
and that's probably why you're seeing that. Same thing with we don't have bur oak blight in this
Ants.
area, but bur oak blight's big in Minnesota and Iowa and those areas, and that disease generally doesn't kill the tree, but then the two-line chestnut borer will come in and wipe them out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, are you seeing more of this now? I mean,
Oak wilt.
more of things that are killing trees. It just seems like it's accelerating.
I think it's just an awareness situation.
Is it?
Yep, I firmly believe that.
Because I traveled up through the Canadian Rockies just recently, and I got to tell you, it was unbelievable looking at the pine trees. The
Pine bark
tree.
beetle.
I mean, you're talking about a couple of 100 acres of swath here, a swath here, a swath here.
Right.
Unbelievable. And I
Right.
talked to the guys up there, and they said, yeah. He said, what we need to do is we need to be between 7 and probably 20 below zero for extended periods of time in order to kill the bugs. Otherwise, they're having a field day.
Yep.
30
Oh, yeah.
below for emerald ash borer.
Is that what it is? Now,
Wow.
we
30
talked a
below?
little bit,
30
Kevin,
below.
about the
There's studies that have actually been done. When we had those few cold winters a couple of years ago, in Minnesota,
yes.
Wisconsin, it didn't wipe out the borers in their entirety, but it did slow down the progression of
Well,
the.
I was just talking
damage.
before, and help me understand. There is a way to pre-treat trees to protect them from two-line chestnut borer.
Triage?
Yeah,
Is
you can
that a
definitely
good
use triage.
statement or a
Triage.
bad
Yes.
statement?
Yep.
That's accurate.
Yep.
Okay. It isn't injected.
Yep.
Yes.
Would it be the same thing that's used to treat it?
It's triage.
For emerald ash borer, yeah. Either way, it's the same insecticide we would use for either one of those insects, or even bronze birch borer, or any
It's
kind of boring
this product
insect.
right here.
Okay. And it is functional. It will do the job.
Very
Oh,
much so.
absolutely.
Yes.
Problem is that it's labor intensive and probably cost intensive too.
Well, there's definitely
My cost for that is $500 a bottle
And how many trees might you get
in a year.
out of that?
It depends upon the size of the tree.
Okay, well,
2,
you see
3.
the size of our trees. Give a shot at it.
If we had an ash tree, I don't know, if we had an old ash, 55-inch ash, I might get 2 or 3 out of that. 3 or 4.
But I mean, your typical 20-inch trees or so.
Well, let's see, a 20-inch tree.
So you're saying you'll get
Well, here, I could calculate.
5, 6, maybe.
Let me calculate. I can do it right now.
Okay.
What's the diameter of the
You're
tree?
reading the newspaper?
Let's suppose 30.
I'm recording.
30?
Is that a good
Oh,
guess?
I-
30.
cool.
So a 30-inch diameter ash for emerald ash borer, we're going to use 300 milliliters of product.
Okay.
That's at the high rate. You have low rate, medium rate, high rate. So
Right.
we're going to use 300 milliliters of product.
How many milliliters?
Well, how many milliliters in a liter? 1,000?
Yep.
Yep.
There's your answer.
That's
So,
a liter.
3 30-inch trees is going to be 3 of these.
So
plus some
$500 plus all labor
plus some
and everything
plus some
else to do
leftovers.
it.
Yeah, this bottle costs $500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
Part of what I'm trying to do is, okay, if I'm going to do granting, if I'm going to try to go for it funding, because as I said, do we have trees?
also, I think we need to talk to Kenny.
You need to talk to
Kenny,
Kenny?
Yeah.
Who is Kenny?
the state senator,
Uh-huh.
my brother-in-law.
Uh-huh.
That might be
Okay.
a good idea.
Kenny, my brother-in-law is the state senator for East Cleveland.
Well,
Kenny is aware of the problem in the park.
Uh-huh.
Well, he's aware of the oak wilt outbreaks in the area.
Yeah.
But has he seen have you walked him through here? It would be advantageous to do
almost
so.
Okay.
almost no politician has been in this park except
Yeah.
what you
have
brought
to,
in,
You've got to invite them.
and we have not done
And
a
who's
good
the
job.
state rep? It used to be Barbara Boyd's
No,
daughter.
but it's Marsha Fudge.
No, that's our congresswoman.
Congresswoman, right?
No, this
State rep, I don't know.
Well, for Cleveland Heights, it was Barbara Boyd, but she,
Right, but she retired.
and now it's her daughter. So
It might be because I think she did.
I
You're
think
right.
her daughter. But that's for, I don't know, there's 99 members to the Ohio House.
Yeah, and
So I don't know specifically
you're
which
doing
house
exactly
seat.
what I'm trying to get to. We have not done a good job of eliciting, people's support who might be able to support us, and because clearly this is way beyond what we can do.
It would be advantageous to bring the state representative in, or state representatives if their districts overlap. It would be advantageous to bring Senator Yuko in and do a walkthrough with him, show him what's going on. Sonny Simon, our county council person. I believe Sonny is the county council person for this area.
See, you know more than I do. I'm very poorly informed on this area, but I think we need to become better informed.
I told Kenny about the oak wilt outbreak in the region.
Yeah.
But for him to see it,
Well, this you can. I mean, I can show him.
yeah. Well,
I got good.
give him a call and see if you can get him on here.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
These are spread a little far apart.
hmm.
So these are spread a little far apart.
Well, let's. What do we got?
That's about as far as I can reach. More needles.
Oh, right there. You can go.
Needle.
Hmm?
Take that needle.
Yeah. Almost.
That guy. All right. If you can, that's cool.
Oh no, I can't make it that guy because that was our bad plug.
No, I think that's the bad plug right there.
What is?
You can't get the
No,
needle.
this was the bad plug. I drilled it. Remember?
Okay, can you get the needle to go in that plug? Yep. So that's another.
What's going on here? That's odd.
Hole healed itself.
No, it's the plug is. We went through a rash of some issues with plugs.
Yeah.
And I might got a batch of them. All right. So what do we have? How many needles?
We've got 4 needles in right now.
We need to get 2 more.
You know what? You've got 4 more holes to drill.
No, I drilled them all.
You drilled them all.
Yeah.
All right, plug them all. All right, let's just start going with what we got.
Okay.
Make sure that needle's shut off.
Yeah. We're off.
Now you're just going to pressurize the bottle, or do you have to continually pump? Because-
35 psi.
how much?
35 psi.
I usually get up and over that.
reason
You
I
do
was
have to-
asking is I have a portable air compressor,
Oh, yeah, that's probably
and
one
I
of
didn't
the-
know if that was
That's over.
any
we
advantage
blow
or
the
not.
bark off the tree.
Probably.
Yeah. There's a prescribed rate for deciduous trees versus coniferous trees.
Yeah.
You could actually, if you come and look, you could see the flow.
I can see it. Yeah.
All right, start opening your needles.
Oh, we're not open?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, you just filled the system.
All right.
We're opening up the needles now, and product's flowing into the tree. I'll set up bottle number 2 over on the other side. Or probably right in here, I'd say. I always said they should put more dye in this stuff so you can actually see it moving. Sometimes, you know, we'll get guys that will actually put just an air bubble in there to see if watch the air bubble travel and.
Oh. No, thank you.
Yeah.
The product for two-line chestnut board, you have to have a license in the state of Ohio.
Not for D4.
Not for G4?
Nope.
That's right.
You don't realize the things that we've done over the years. One of our people ended up trying to kill weeds and grass on one of the ball fields over here, and we ran out of material, so we contacted a firm to buy it. The guy said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't sell you that. That's a licensed product. You can't do that." So you got to wear special clothing and do everything else. Well, of course, they had used a large amount of it already all around the thing with no respirators, nothing, no protection.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've been
the
pretty
restricted use
creative.
stuff you can't even buy anymore yourself.
But that, you see, that's where what I was talking about. If we're going to do this, we need to encourage people who have the ability to help us
Right.
to get involved and see what resources we can bring, because we've got a serious problem here.
Right.
We really do.
Yeah, we really do.
I don't get all choked up.
No, it's
Not personal.
something in the
Just
air.
trees. That needle went in the ground like a harpoon, Kev.
Did it really?
Yes. Really. They'll find if you're.
I'm looking at it, yeah. So, during the course of the year, you handle a lot of different things like this. This is only one example of the things
Yep.
you do.
Yep. How we going? Huh?
Make it. You got all of them in work.
You can do it.
We'll get 5. I don't think we're gonna be able to make a 6. You don't have another hole over there, do you?
We'll get one. We have the technology.
Where would you like the hole? Easy.
All wrapped up.
Yeah, that is the challenge with these, is they will get a little wonky on you, for sure.
All right, so we're gonna go right
Yep.
here.
Yep,
All
I
right.
like it.
That's a good idea.
Drill,
Drill.
drill, plug, chainsaw. Oh wait,
We do that.
we're trying to avoid that.
Yeah, that's the hope here, certainly.
By the time we get down to the T and arbor jet here, I'm gonna want to move this over to the other holes.
Where? need my plugger. Do you see my plugger?
There's mine right there.
Yeah, well, we need to put some more shaper on this thing, otherwise you're going to lose it in about a week.
Fluorescent tape.
Yeah, that's why I don't do this very often. I work for the manufacturer, so.
That's all right. Thank you for
All right.
coming in.
Oh, certainly.
Um,
Don't open it yet. No pressurize.
Nope.
you're flowing stuff right now, so your valve is open.
Yep, sure is. Sure is. Yeah,
Are we not snug?
What, are you leaking?
Hang on.
Is the cap not snug?
Yeah, you're losing air pressure.
Yep.
Something's not working.
The cap.
Hang on. Yep. Thank you. Today, boys and girls.
This is why we need
Amateur hour.
yeah, we need experts that come from great distance. That's why.
I came from South Euclid
Okay, well, clearly you're.
via Lyndhurst
Yeah, you.
originally.
Well, you could have said that I come from over the Cuyahoga River, and that would have been another world. So that's
Yeah.
fine.
All right, go ahead and start opening needles. I'm gonna check the pressure on the other side.
Okay.
We are rocking and rolling.
Good. Typically, a little over an hour or more.
It can vary a great deal based upon the uptake of the tree.
Yeah, the absorptivity.
Some trees have very fast uptake. Other trees, the uptake is hours.
I can't get this to turn.
First one that I ever did was originally when I arrived here. I had emerald. I had elms
Yep.
in my yard, and I had 3 of them.
That one's not open yet.
So the product
Okay.
for
So the
such
original
elm
hole that
disease
you
is the
guys
same
bored
product
into
for
the
wilt.
tree was only like how many? An inch or two?
It's about 3/8 of an inch as far as depth. Yeah, about an inch and
Kevin,
a
you
quarter.
check for leaks.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at it right now. I don't see anything. I'm looking good.
Nothing flowing out.
I got a
So it's
little
not even that deep of a hole.
too much.
Yeah, no, you don't really want to go too far in because you start getting into the dead wood and it's not going to
Not
carry the
gonna
material
move it,
anywhere.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's really
be within
the
the
surface
vascular
is where the capillaries are that are really working.
If you go too deep, your uptake is slow. If you go too shallow, you blow the bark off the tree.
Or blow the plug out. Yep.
So how long would it take that to get up to the top of the tree?
Usually within 24 to 48 hours. Again, that's going to depend on transpiration. You've got transpirational pull. The more water there is in the ground,
In
the
the
more
spring.
sunlight, air, wind, things like that will speed it up.
In the spring, your uptake is much faster than now,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
by far. Didn't we say
Although we've already drained this bottle one time around, so
Pardon me?
when I came back over here, this had no pressure left on it. So it's
Really?
going pretty well.
Did we say water? Cue the water.
How many ports do we have left to? We got 1, 2.
Is the water part of the treatment?
I always prefer
Well, here's
To-
a whole lot more water here. You want to save one of these
Yeah, we can save one of them right now.
and then pour the
Pour.
rest on the tree?
Yeah. What are we doing? So, well, I'm getting ready to move that bottle pretty soon here.
I always prefer to water. You reduce the risk of burning the tree out and also assist in uptake of the fungicide.
So again, if you were really, if you're going to try to plan a whole program, you really want to be ready to go in the spring.
For best results, yeah. Well, not only that, I mean, you believe you have a healthy tree in the spring. You don't want to go into the summer and all of a sudden it gets stressed next thing.
Well,
you
that's
know, it's
some of the thing. What I'm trying to do is plan a year, plan
Yep.
process.
Yep.
So if I'm going to do a springtime, I assume that I want to go after the budding has started.
Yep.
Okay.
You get better uptake.
Because we still, this spring we had really cold nights,
Yeah.
warm, cold, and you don't want it to stop.
doesn't even have to be. You don't have to see buds.
You don't
I
have
had
to.
some really solid uptake. Yeah, I had when it warmed up. The bud, because you have to have uptake to develop those buds.
Yeah, well, that's
So
the
when
only
it
problem we have around here is that you may go for 3 days and you've got 40 and 45 degree temperatures and it's wonderful, and you get 5 below. consistent. That's
Yep.
all.
No, we had some cold days this spring, and I went out and I had phenomenal uptake.
So again, identify the trees. Look for trees that are currently healthy.
Yep.
Determine what we're trying to do in terms of protecting.
Yep.
Is it oak wilt? Are we trying to deal with?
Oak
and you're
wilt.
telling me that emerald borer and true lime can be treated with the same material.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So I've got two projects, essentially. And then the key is, and we don't know what's causing, and that was one of Elsa's questions. We have chestnut oaks that we're seeing something. And Elsa, how bad is the chestnut oak problem?
Bad.
What are you actually physically seeing?
Well, over there.
Yep. And I know where they are.
We're losing about one tree every other year.
Is it dead yet, or is it?
It's not dead yet. It's treatable, I think. That
Yeah,
one
it's not
tree.
like oak wilt where it goes poof and it's gone.
Right.
Right. But there's also another tree that looks more like that because it's got a big area.
You know, we're
trunk.
standing
Well,
in the
that's
shade,
one that's
Yeah.
and it's warm.
Oh, you just see the humidity.
You know? Did you
Yeah.
notice that? I just.
All right, we're getting ready for a move here.
Are we?
We've got what, 5 more ports to hit?
No, that's it.
No, there's.
Oh, did we still?
We went to 16, right?
Yeah.
And we only got 4 on this one, right?
Yep.
And we got 5 on that one, right? Or did we get all 6?
We 6.
Okay, so that means we're at 11. That means we got 5 more to go, right?
We've got to shift to the right.
Yep. All right, we're already shut down here, so shut your needles off.
Okay. Let's go off.
Easy.
Yeah, because those the chestnut oaks are very unique.
So we have two separate.
Starting here, correct?
Asphalt.
Oh, that's when you tried drilling. Did you put that other one?
I've got 2 here.
Where's your next one over here?
Here. No plug.
Plugless, huh?
Plug is in Cleveland. I want to know where my plugger is.
It's back. It's in the pocket on the end of that little cart there.
Okay.
It's like all the dirt in it.
Point taken.
We'll only find 3 ports here.
Only got 3.
Open that needle.
Open.
Says me.
It's so odd doing this with somebody. I normally do this by myself.
And
Have you guys worked together before?
well, worked together, played together, you know.
Grew up together.
Okay.
But I myself don't have a whole lot of injection experience, so I'm relatively new at this.
I've been doing it for a few years.
Okay.
But I have some historical knowledge of it. For instance, the trees on West 50th Street that were injected for EAB, the first year we were out there, I was out there with them, with the manufacturer. I was working for a distributor at that time.
All right.
You lose your tape?
Nope.
So we got
Water.
really good uptake going on here.
Are we flowing?
Oh yeah.
It's nice having an assistant.
Assisted my butt. Nice having good equipment.
Well, yeah, that's. Well, I gotta sell more work. I mean. Yeah, my system was top of the line when I bought it, and then right afterwards they came out with this one. I was like, oh man.
Oh no, you got 6 in over here. Yeah, so 6, 5, 11, and 3 is 14. Maybe we just did 20 drilled 14 holes, huh? Yeah, we're cruising right along. Going good, going good. that bottle's 3/4 the way through. The nice thing about it, you know, it's for everything you can do, your investment's fairly minimal. I mean, this is the series that we're the equipment that we're using right here. This F series. This is the F12, where you've got 2 different spools of 6 needles. So you can inject as many as, actually with this kit, 18 if you just get another harness of needles. So you've got more bottles to work with. So you can get a lot done. Kit like this runs about $1,600.
Wow.
So I mean, you're all set up. You're ready to go. You're in
Right.
business. All you
Right.
need now is chemistry. Usually, what I recommend to guys that are going to do a lot of this is that they buy a IV type kit like this, because it's kind of set up like an IV, and then they buy the quick jet air. So they set this up. I could be treating another tree right now. Well, that's just doing it all on its own. So, and this one runs a little closer to $2,000. But this is all air powered. You can inject about 50 trees on each bottle of air.
Or you can buy 2 IVs and skip.
Yeah, you could leapfrog that way. Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
Or if you're only treating smaller trees, you only need 1 IV system.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can have 2 trees, 2 over here.
Mhm.
To see if a tree only needs 4. I have 4 bottles. Each bottle has 4 needles. That gives me 16 injection points. So I could treat 4. If the tree requires 4 ports.
Have you been timing us since we started?
No. Well, let's take a look.
That bottle is already completely down on pressure as well.
It's
I mean, we could not have been actually physically injecting for more than 15 minutes now.
Right.
Another
I've been recording for 37 minutes so far.
Okay.
So.
But you started back when I was doing my jabber jaw
Right.
over here. Yep.
Well, we're about halfway on this guy.
And this one is another 5 minutes, and this bottle's done.
So that
And you got to remember, we're not injecting through every needle on this either.
that shows you the variations from one side of a tree to another.
Well, and that's also the fact that we started that 5 minutes after we started this one. And who knows how long it sat with no pressure on it. So I'm only bouncing back and forth a little bit here.
Like I said, it's nice having help. Normally I have to do all this.
Well, especially when somebody knows what they're doing. Yeah, see, this one's already all the way down.
We're already all the way down?
Yeah. Pressure-wise.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's, I mean, it's...
See,
It's shoving it in, for sure.
rarely do the small bottles run out of pressure. I mean, I do go back a second time and fill them up, but actually run out of pressure? No.
Yeah.
I've never experienced it.
Wow, that's how quickly this is pushing this in there. And getting good uptake. Very good uptake.
And it's always recommended to start at the base of the tree. I take it.
Yeah, the lower the better, because you're protecting more of the tree.
The root flare, you inject into the root flare.
Root flare.
Yeah, you definitely want to look for areas where, you know, you don't want to go into flat spots and things like this where we're not going to get very good conduction of the material.
And you want to try to have equal distance between your needles, so you have what is the word? More consistent coverage throughout the tree.
Mhm.
Thank you.
That makes sense.
And then even the way you place your plugs, especially on a large tree, will dictate whether or not your hoses can reach. That's a nuance that you just learn with experience.
So,
Yeah, that's a problem I don't have with my system. Because what are you at?
60 pounds.
You're at 60, and we're emptying the, and we're running out of pressure. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. That's new to me.
Well, it just shows you how fast we're moving product through, too.
Yeah.
so these 2 bottles are the full treatment for this size tree
Yep.
For
Yep.
2 years.
for 2 years.
Yep.
This is a 2-year treatment.
Wow.
And there's a reason I normally wear a hard hat.
There's nothing up there to hurt. That's He's down to about 10 pounds.
I lost my train of thought.
Again, nothing up there to hurt. Oh, come on, you leave yourself wide open.
Fine, you're right. Yeah, depending upon the tree you're treating and whatever it is you're looking to rectify, some treatments can be once a year, some can be every 2 years, some can be a couple times a year, depending upon whatever it is you're dealing with. Couldn't you, with fire blight, very well do an Arborjet OTC early in the spring and follow up with Fossajet in September?
Yeah, you know, and you look at other things too. I mean, we have other options for emerald ash borer. Imidacloprid's been used all over the world for several years now, so you can inject that for emerald ash borer. And we also have a water-based neem formulation that you can inject for emerald ash borer. The problem with both of those materials is it's a much shorter window of control, so you're looking at maybe a 12-month control.
Clients in general like, especially with oak wilt and emerald ash borer, they like the fact that you can come in, you do a single treatment, you're good for 2 years, and they don't have to hear from you again.
Well, and particularly
they like the efficiency component.
particularly like cities and whatnot too. If they're doing a large volume of trees, you can just do every other year treatment. So you're treating 100 this year, you can treat 100 different ones next year, and you're just constantly leapfrogging.
Yep. Or what do we say? There was 1,000 trees in this park. You do 500 one year, you do 500 the next.
Right. Right.
Instead of having to do all 1,000 in 1 year.
Yeah, and then it's very labor intensive to do it that way.
500 trees.
Yep.
If I had to treat 500 trees for a client, I'd pretty much shut everything else down for the year.
Oh, of course.
Sorry.
Yeah,
We're sold out.
Books for the year, huh?
Call next spring. Well, sometimes if I'm very busy, I have somebody help. But in general, I'm the one who has all the training for this, the education, the license, the equipment. So it takes a lot to get to this point to have the ability to do this, to provide the service. It's not just an overnight. It took me years. How we doing?
that one's almost done.
You're just going back and forth.
Yep, that's all I'm doing. We should start seeing bubbles come through that pretty soon here. Yep, I see them right now. Look up the neck.
Yeah.
Right there. Yep, we're finishing out that bottle.
Bye-bye.
We'll give that one more pump, and then we can start cleaning that one.
You cleaned it?
I do.
I really like the metal fittings.
Oh, aren't they nice?
Yeah.
What do you mean by cleaning?
We have to disinfect our system.
Yeah, you take a solution, you run it through the system to get all the chemistry out of there, and then a little bit of water, and then you clean the needles, so just so you're not carrying the pathogen from one tree to the next.
So you're basically just flushing out your equipment.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Say, for example, we were traveling from this oak and we were going to go treat another oak, and if this oak was infected with oak wilt, we would need to disinfect our system. That way we don't carry the disease from one tree to another.
Even though what you have in these bottles is designed to treat.
Your needles could be infected. Well,
I hear a whizzer over there.
yeah, a little bit, right?
Is it
Nah, that's all.
at the plug?
Yeah, just
Okay.
a little bit.
As long as it's not the equipment.
No, it's the plug. There's no puddle or anything, so just a minor leakage. So you're able to tape this? Or
I'm hoping this thing is recording. If not, I'm gonna be pissed.
So this is one of the pieces of equipment we just rolled out here in the last 18 months or so. This is called the Hex PDS. So I can take this, pull this plug out of here, and run another Hex PDS off that. So I can run 12 needles off of one bottle.
Okay,
Yeah, so you can really do a lot with this.
I see.
You got a dribbler? Shut it off. Just shut that one off. We'll inject the rest of the force. You could run another one.
No,
in there.
I'm just gonna put my needle in front. Usually, if you do a second tap with your needles, you're fine. You want some orange tape on this thing?
I hear another one.
It's that one over there.
Oh, is it that one? Yeah. Yeah, if you got orange tape, you can throw it on there. I don't care. I think that's some of the air that's coming through those valves too that I'm hearing. And I can't hear anything.
It stopped.
Huh?
It stopped.
Huh?
Huh? What? We're good now.
Good. Freak. No, I think I'm hearing the air coming through these needles. That's what I'm hearing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
See. You know how easy it would be to lose that.
And without
Oh
that, you got
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Well. The diameter tapes, the one on the ground, these are $25 each. So
I think this bottle's done.
like that,
Mm-hmm.
very easy.
Oh yeah.
$25 each versus, because I've lost a couple of them and then I started doing, so there's got to be a way.
Orange
Orange
duct tape.
tape.
Oh yeah. Simple
Effective.
and very effective.
I have 2 words. Chautauqua Lake.
I just need to tape a GPS to it.
Low jack.
Right?
You know it's bad if you have to low jack your arbor tree tape.
That other bottle's all but done, I think. All bueno?
We're good.
I mean, I can hear the air going through the needle.
That's it. We're done.
You got a empty
Yes.
bottle?
Yes. Yes.
Close.
Man killed by plastic bottle.
Pretty tough, but, you know, I'm sure it's happened.
It was a really big one. Alright, I'm gonna put my drill away so we don't need to do this anymore. Rubbing alcohol.
And I think where I get in trouble
Rubbing alcohol.
where somebody comes to me with, let's do this, and it's got to happen by, you know, and it's like all of a sudden I'm in trouble because I see the opportunity.
Done.
I could actually hit it.
What?
I was pushing air through that needle. I could hear it coming back out.
Right. We don't want to burn out Brian.
I definitely don't want to burn out.
Don't burn out Brian.
Yeah. you weren't here, and one of the things I suggested, you know, when I put together a paper and I'm going to get it to you, and it's sort of an analysis of what Cleveland State did a study,
So we'll be done.
and the Cleveland State study identified a lot of things, and I used that to justify a lot of the things that we're doing and going after. One of the things was the accessibility of, you know, places in the park for people to use, and a lot of it, for example, the picnic areas are not, since we're blocking all vehicles, the picnic areas are not accessible generally to where people go, and there's certainly not enough trash containment systems. And what I'm proposing is I'm going to go through the park. I've gone through it a couple of times. I'm going to suggest different locations for maybe some new picnic tables, new picnics. I want to move some of the grills. I want to take the old ones out. I want to move them and put them into new locations. I want to put new trash systems in of some sort that we can nail down, because I don't want them to go. And what I was wanting to do, I looked at, for example, Forest Hill Boulevard, and I can see the opportunity for at least 2 more, maybe 3, that are adjacent to Forest Hill that people could just walk into and put in. You know, Gordon says these doubles over here are used, and that's fine. But we've got, you know, there are 5 picnic tables up against the ball field here. Nice, convenient location. We've got a grill that's over there by that place, which somebody has nicely broken.
I saw.
If I'm not mistaken, and I was going to do an inventory, if you go back here, we have the old picnic sites. There are a couple of grills in the woods. They're just in the woods. And I told Gordon before he left yesterday,